up everybody and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Dimitra. In today's video I am going to be talking about everything that Marc Jacobs has been releasing for his holiday 2017 collection, and that's everything that I can actually afford because I know there's more stuff out there, I just can't afford it all. If you want to know my thoughts on this collection, make sure you keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Also, just before I dive into the review of this collection, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you out there who have subscribed to my channel, who have been showing me so much love over the last year and a bit. It is because of you that I have finally reached a huge milestone in this channel. That is 1,000 subscribers. We did it, guys. We have surpassed the 1,000 mark and I really have no words. I am just so happy. I will be hosting a giveaway very, very soon. I'm just waiting for a few more products to come through. As soon as I have those here, I'm gonna put everything together, get a video going, upload it, and give back to you and say thanks for everything that you've done for me. Let's start by talking about this new palette release from Marc Jacobs. This is the EyeConic eyeshadow palette. It's called the Wild One. This is part of his holiday 2017 collection. When I saw this appear on Sephora's website, I fell in love with the packaging. I love all things animal print. I think it looks so cute and catchy. I love the silver, black, and gold. It looks really, really pretty. And on the back is where you have a picture of the actual palette, and all of the color names are on here. This palette is not vegan, for anybody who is wondering. I did see carmine in here a few times in some of the eyeshadows, so that's just something for you to note. Once you open up the box, you do find your palette, and of course this year's palette is very similar to the packaging last year, if not completely identical, just a different color basically for the plastic. So obviously the front is identical to what the box is, and then when you flip it to the back, you do have your eyeshadow palette basically laid out for you, and all of the colors are numbered. Now I'm not entirely sure why they're numbered on the back of the package, because this year my box did not contain a sheet that lets you know how you can create a bunch of different looks. Last year's palette did include that, and it made using this a lot easier. When you do crack open, hang on a second. When you do crack open the palette, you push this down. You've got a big honking mirror, which I'm going to cover so I don't blind you. And then you've got, yikes, there we go. Then you've got the palette itself. It is stunning. The great thing about the Marc Jacobs palettes is that they are always grouped according to a certain color scheme, and it makes creating looks a little bit easier. He did that with the previous holiday palette as well, which looks like this. You can use this entire row here, create a look, this row here, same sort of thing, you keep going. This year's palette is no exception. You can do the exact same thing, but I really wish it did include the instructional card. So of course the exterior, the interior of the packaging looks beautiful, but my biggest complaint, and I was really pissed off when I actually opened up my package, was that two of the eyeshadows in here, it was these two bottom ones here, actually popped out entirely from my palette. They weren't even glued down properly. So when I opened this up for the first time, poof, these two eyeshadows just come flying out at me. It was really disappointing considering that I spent $124 on this palette. That is not chunk change. That is a lot of change. And even right now as I'm holding it up, I noticed another loose shadow, this brown one here. As I start tapping it, it starts fluttering a little bit. So I'm afraid that one's actually going to pop out as well. So they couldn't even be bothered to magnetize this palette so that everything stays down properly, or even use a little more glue. I don't understand why you gotta be so cheap with the damn glue. But anyways, I tried to get over that and I moved on to the actual eyeshadows themselves, which are beautiful for the most part. To be completely honest with you, I wasn't entirely sold on this particular color scheme. I do have a lot of palettes that have lots of color embedded in them, but I thought because of the Marc Jacobs formula and how much I love it, I'm gonna take a chance on this palette and see how it goes. And Thankfully, I wasn't disappointed for all of the shadows. There were a couple in there that I wasn't a huge fan of, but for the most part, they're really, really great. So I'm gonna do a quick little side-by-side here so you can see the difference between the old holiday palette, which is right here, and the new holiday palette, which is on this side over here. So this one is a little more on the sort of warm, neutral side, even a little bit cool tone. But this one here I find is almost entirely cool toned with maybe a hint of warmth in there. I wanted to pull out my Tarte Pro palette just for comparison's sake because I am a huge fan of this palette here, and I actually use it more often than any other palette that I own. And when I put these two side by side, sure, this one's a little more on the warmer side, but I saw quite a few similarities here, and this one is half the price of what this one is. So I don't know, I'm just putting that out there. I actually took really extensive notes on this palette here because I knew there was a lot that I wanted to talk about and I didn't want to miss anything, especially with some of these colors in here. But I'm just going to start by saying that we do have 8 matte shadows, there's 1 matte glitter shadow, 2 duochromes, and 9 metallic shadows. So there's a really good variety of textures and finishes in this palette. And compared to last year, it is different. Last year had actually 1 more matte color, so there were 9 matte colors, only 1 duochrome compared to this year, which was 2. There were 3 matte glitter shadows last year, which is different because this year only had 1. Biggest fail, I think. We'll get to that in a minute. And there were 7 metallics, so less metallics. In order to reference all of these colors accordingly, I am going to be looking down at the box right here, which does have all of the names of the shadows. And I'm going to start off with Paper Tiger, which is down here. Paper Tiger is a very neutral color. This is what you would use for a transition color or maybe to set any sort of primer that you've put on your eyes. It is a very soft matte color, so it's super, super creamy. It is the exact color of my skin tone, so when I swatch it, you can't really see it. So for me, it's the perfect transition. Another color that I really like in this palette is called Early Bird. It's this almost yellow, white, frosted metallic color. It reminds me a lot of MAC's Nylon. It is beautiful for the inner corners of your eyes, highlighting your brow bone, or maybe just putting this all over your lid if you want a slightly more subtle glow. It is such a beautiful, beautiful color, blends out seamlessly, and it has a lot of pigment to it. One of the most standout colors, and I know it can be a little bit difficult to get this color right, is this beautiful white. This is actually called White Elephant, and I love it for highlighting, especially under my brow bone. If I want to set a primer on my eyes, I will also use this sometimes. I love it because it is so pigmented. For a white shadow, it is absolutely crazy. It is very, very powdery, so you are going to get a lot of kick up in the pan. You are going to get a little bit of fallout with this shadow, but it is worth it for the color payoff. I'm going to move on to my favorite color in this entire palette. This is the one color that really drew me in, and it is the color that I absolutely fell in love with. I also think this particular color is really hard to dupe. It is very, very unique. If you do have a dupe out there for this color, please let me know because I am dying to find one. And of course, the color that I'm talking about is Chameleon. It's this beautiful blue, purple, brown color right here. I am so in love with it. I have to swatch it for you. It's so creamy and buttery, and it is one of the most beautiful duochromes that I have ever seen in my life. I am wearing it on my eyes today, and I can't get enough. The next super fun color in this palette that I really enjoyed working with was Hen Party. So this color here is the second duochrome in this palette. palette, and I really enjoy working with it. It does have a sort of brown and orange base to it, and it's got lots of pink glitter to give it this really nice duochrome sort of sheen to it. The problem with this color though is that there's so much fallout. I think this is best applied with a glitter glue base on your eyes. You also really need to pack on this color, otherwise you're not going to get full opacity with it. The best metallic color in this palette I think has to go to Catfight, which is this orchid purple color right here. It is very, very beautiful. It does have some kickback and some fallout as well, but it is just a stunning color. Very creamy, very buttery, and it blends well. Right next to it is Dog and Pony. I want to say Dog and Pony Show, but it's just called Dog and Pony. It is the perfect matte plum color. This is one that I have been loving putting in my crease. So since I've been testing this palette out, I have been sticking this color in my crease, and it just gives you this beautiful smoked out effect without being too harsh. I do have it in my crease today, and I love how softly it blends everything out. One of the matte colors that I had a really hard time with is Peacock. So it's this teal color over here. It is a really softly pressed color. So as soon as you stick your finger in there, a lot of powder is just gonna kick up from the pan. It does have some fallout as well, and when you swatch it on the back of your hand, it looks pretty, but as soon as you start blending this out, and I mean really blending it, you'll have a bit of a difficult time. It's not the easiest color to work with. It can apply a little bit patchy, and when you're really going in there and blending out the edges of a dark color, sometimes you can blend the color away, and that's the case with Peacock here. As soon as you really start blending out this color, it's going to disappear. So then you've got to pack on more and keep repeating the process over and over again, and I just found it to be the most frustrating matte color to work with. So for me, it's a bit of a miss, but maybe there are others who are far better artists than myself and will have a better time with it. But that's one of the colors that I really wanted to like because of the pigment and the color itself, but I just couldn't work with it. And pardon me, the name was Peacocky, not Peacock. Another one of my favorite matte colors to work with in this palette is this dark plum color right here. It's called Bearish, and I will tell you it is just like the other mattes, very soft, creamy, blendable, pigmented, but this one here sucks as a finger swatch. It looks so much better when you actually apply it onto your eyes, and I do have that right now to deepen up my crease, and I also have it smudged in my lower lash line today. But as you can see, when you swatch it, it looks really patchy and blah. You're probably thinking, what the hell is she talking about? But I am telling you, when you actually apply this onto your eyes, it is so much better. And lastly, I'm going to talk about Crow's Nest, which is this navy glitter color right over here. It is a matte with glitter in it, and I really wanted to love this color. Let me start by saying that. I wanted to love this color so much, but I ended up disliking it the more I used it. So I would put this all over my lid. I would try to blend it out. I would try to use this in my crease. Even though it has glitter, I know it sounds crazy, but even then I would have problems with it. The problem with this color for me is that the glitter falls out really, really fast. So as you're packing it on, the glitter does kind of stay and it looks good, but then as soon as you start going in with a blending brush to blend out harsh edges, the glitter all falls away. So then you find yourself packing on more of the color, and the more you pack on, the more you blend, the more your color disappears, the more the glitter falls out. So again, really sick cycle of a color just not being able to work. I think in particular, if you're a beginner buying this palette, you may have a hard time working with this color. I know I did, and I don't think I'm a beginner anymore, but it just wasn't great. But when you swatch it on the back of your hand, it looks beautiful, right? I would say a great dupe for this color, and one that I prefer working with far more, is Frisky from ColourPop. Actually, let me go grab that for you so you guys can see it. Okay, so here is Frisky in the pan, and as you can see, this one here has a lot of glitter to it. and it's got the same undertone, and it just goes on so much smoother. Actually, I'm gonna take it and swatch it again. So as you guys can see, boom, in one clear swipe you have such beautiful color. And now on another clean finger, I'm going to take this one and crow's nest on this finger here, swatching it right next to it. And as you can see, the glitter in the ColourPop swatches is just far superior to that of Crow's Nest. So overall for this palette, I like it, but I don't love it. I enjoy working with these colors. I like the Marc Jacobs formula for the most part for his eyeshadows, but I think a lot of these colors are just so dupeable with so many more affordable colors that $124 for this palette here, I don't think is worth it, at least not this year. I found his palette last year to be much more user-friendly. I just like the tones in here. It's a little more subdued. This one is a little more on the wild side, as the name itself suggests. Marc Jacobs also released a mini set of his lipsticks in this cute little box here called Cat's Meow. It is so pretty. I love this packaging. Again, the animal print just gets me every time. When you open up the box, you do have this cute little clutch. It's got a little tassel at the end. The zipper will open it up, so you just pull the tassel, it opens, and you have all of your lipsticks just sitting inside. Let me actually get that for you the right way. The package itself is so beautiful, and you can remove this thing out where all the lipsticks are sitting and use this as a clutch if you want to, because it's perfect, really. There are 5 lipstick colors in here in Marc's normal formula, which I absolutely love. The first color is called Goddess, and it is a beautiful, sensual red. Oh my god, it's so creamy. Look at that, it is stunning. That is Goddess. The next color we have is called Current Mood, and this is more of a plum color. Again, very, very beautiful. Oh, I thought this was gonna be darker, but I actually like it. It's very, very nice. This is actually a very wearable color, so not too crazy vampy, but perfect for the fall and winter. The third color in here is called J'adore, which is I love in French, and it is a beautiful brown toned nude. It is stunning. The fourth color is Infamous, and this one here is more of a pink nude color. This is gonna be your everyday, I'm going to the office and then I'm going out after work to party my ass off. It is a beautiful rosy color. And the last one in this set is called Sonic Truth. This is probably the most nude of them all. I don't think this one is gonna look good on me. It does have a bit of a pinky peach undertone to it. Beautiful color, just not gonna be great for my skin tone, so I'm gonna pass on this one, probably donate it. But the rest of these colors, definitely up my alley. For 50 some odd dollars, I think this set is worth it. You get this beautiful package here, which can convert into a clutch. Here, I'll show you. You can just take this right out, and there is your clutch right there that you can use. I think that's a really clever idea. I've used the Marc Jacobs lipstick formula in the past, and I've loved it. It is really hydrating on the lips, has pretty good wear time, at least from what I can remember. It's between 5 to 6 hours with a little bit of drinking and eating, and then you need some reapplication, but no big deal there. I've never been upset about having to reapply lipstick, so as you guys know, I love Marc Jacobs Beauty. I think it is a great line. It is a little bit on the pricey side, which is what makes it a difficult line to actually be able to purchase. Not everyone has that kind of money. If you are on a strict budget right now, I would say pass on the palette, but definitely consider the lipsticks. I think it's great value, and you get 5 different shades to play around with. If you do have the disposable income and you are looking for a really fun and wild palette, then definitely dive into this one here. I think you'll enjoy it. And that is it for this review. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. You can also connect with me on all of my social media. I am on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. I'm gonna link everything for you in the description box below, as well as right here. Because why not, right? Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you are all having an incredible day no matter where you are in the world. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.